Lally ho, friends, and welcome to episode 37 of Kupo Quest, where we're all totally relaxed and none of us are stressed out. We're down one player tonight, but the show must go on, so we will continue with where we left off, which was nowhere really exciting. Let's see, where to start. So the team, for the first time in weeks, really, is back together. So we have finally gathered back together in Alexandria and started to make our way back to Balamb. However, there was a little bit of a hiccup in the plans in that the Empire had sent their Dark Knight, to which Nozak had kind of informed the rest of the group that this is kind of their precursor to disaster. This guy is almost like a one-man army. And if he's here, it's not good news. Turns out he had given the Queen of Alexandria 3 days to respond to the Empire's terms, and she did nothing, not respond or try to mount any kind of counterattack. She just ignored it. There was some debate about what to do, and eventually it was decided to leave Alexandria to its fate. However, one Sir Grunthor could not allow that to happen, and bidding the rest of the group a very sad, very tense farewell, remained behind in Alexandria to take on the Dark Knight by himself. In the meantime, the rest of the group is kind of split. Arguments raining out amongst everyone as they, decide what they should have done, what they should do. And specifically, Blake is wrestling with the guilt of leaving Grunthor behind and leaving these people. So, in a desperate plea to tip the scales, she reaches out to Renoa, and without informing the rest of the group, initiates the launch of one of the Guardian forces in order to aid Alexandria. Something that Leviathan has warned against and something that Nozak himself is very, very much against. But they don't know yet. With that, the
And
team...
Blake.
Blake is against
Blake
it too.
was also against it. Yeah.
That's true. But in this case, her feelings for justice and righteousness won out, and she did give the order to release the program. So that's where we left off. Now, where we pick up, we are flying away from Grunthor as he makes his solemn, slow march towards the gates of Alexandria and the waiting Dark Knight. On the boat, I know that Blake did want to try one thing. So, Blake, we're going to open with you. You have just sent this message to Renoa. At this point, the airship has gone far enough away to where Grunthor and the Dark Knight just look like ants at this point. You are rather far away from them and moving quickly as Ava is booking it. The decision was made to go as fast as you could back to Balamb. I think even Ava was going to try to push it and take another level of exhaustion to try to get you back as fast as possible. I think that was the plan. But I do think that there was a particular prayer or something you wanted to do, as we have leveled up and you are now level 10, and you see a glimmer of hope. So what are you doing?
Okay. I love how I'm doing this, and I just have a baby cocktail stomping around the top of my head. This is
Well, that's
real. I really feel like this is just adding to the gravitas
level
of the
10.
moment.
Well, here's the thing: is Duchess was left behind. Grunthor did not take Duchess. So in my head, this bird
This is
is
accurate.
Duchess, and it's clinging to
She
you
does
in
look-
its desperation for love.
She does kind of look like a little tiny chicken or a chocobo.
Little chickabo.
Kickapoo!
Except
Love
she's
that.
a burger.
Okay.
So Blake,
Right. Okay.
what are you doing?
All right. Okay, so she's sitting on the back of the ship, like looking at Alexandria, like in the distance. And kind of like crisscross applesauce with like the hands and knees. And I guess she's so do I have to roll and know? Do I roll first or do I say the prayer first?
Say your prayer first. say your prayer of what you're
Damn it.
asking, and then we'll roll
I
for
wanted
your
to know if
divine
I was
intervention.
successful or not, and then I could figure out what I was going to do from there.
More fun this way.
Like your definition of fun. I'm finding out
Here's
that your
the-
definition of fun and mine are very different.
Possibly. But here's the thing. If you roll and don't get it, then we're going to lose out on some great prayer because you're just going to be like, blah, 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 blah. But I want to hear. I want to hear
Okay.
this prayer from Blake's soul.
I should I should have written this down. I knew that this was I didn't expect to be the first fucking thing.
There's a lot riding on this. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure.
But it will
Kat. This is
determine
fine.
how the next little bit plays out. So I kind of have to.
Okay. All right. So she's going to be on the back of the ship, crisscross applesauce, hands kind of on her knees, and just sort of like vaguely trying to like pull in the life threads and trying to feel the not the coldest, but what's that? Been there the longest, and that smell like the pine trees. And she's going to close her eyes and say, please protect Sir Grunthor. He still has a part to play in this. And the people don't deserve to fall. Or the people don't deserve to have their lives thrown away over the selfishness of one person.
Okay.
And she's going to kind of sigh and open up her eyes and just kind of add on, and please, I hope I didn't let me not have made a mistake with the Guardians.
Okay. With that, give me a D100 roll. You're looking for a 1 through 10.
We need a drum roll.
Hold on. Do I have that? Sirenscape, don't fail me. Let's see. Let's see if
I'm
Sirenscape
waiting.
has a drum roll.
Please.
I've got a badum. That's not going to do it. I know. Dun, dun, dun. That's not going to do it either. I don't see a drum roll here. We're just going to have to
Jeopardy
go for
music? Oh, no, that's
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 copyrighted.
probably
That's
copyrighted.
I have.
Let's see.
Tea.
Oh my god, that's heavy on the tequila. Blake is going to have fun tonight.
Was ready for tonight.
I got a dramatic
I
note.
was not expecting it. I was not expecting it to be that strong. Don't judge me for my mama juice, okay?
Or
You're
did
stalling, Blake. You're stalling.
Oh no. I am. Okay. All right. I'm rolling. I'm closing my eyes.
Okay. 42.
Nice.
42? That's the answer to life and everything.
Well, that's true. That is true. You feel enlightened with the answers that you receive back. As you say your prayer, you have a sense of calm that comes over you that you normally do when you pray. You know, that sense of sharing your burdens, that sense of a higher power just caring for your individual life. But nothing exceptional about this feeling. Nothing that calls to you as though your prayers have been directly answered. Before we get to Grunthor, Izzy or Nozak, do you have anything you'd like to do?
Not really. I don't think Izzy's in the mood to be doing things right now.
Okay.
Nozak's also kind of just in a hell of a spot mentally. And I
Also,
think...
don't.
Go.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't think he's quite mentally prepared already with everything that's going on, and I think he's like having a massive war with himself in his head about some big changes that I think I might need to talk to you about off episodes.
Okay.
Also, I am paying attention. I'm just going over all of his spells.
Go for it.
Reading his
Ava
book like
is not unusually quiet because Ava's not the most talkative of people, but they seem to be keeping to themselves, piloting the ship. They look tired, exhausted, but determined to get you back to Balamb. So with that, Grunthor, you have been left behind at the gates of Alexandria, far away, not too far, but a little bit of distance between you and the gates and the knight himself. As you begin your slow walk towards him, uh, your friends leaving you behind, what's going through your head? What are you doing?
I am praying to whatever Galka gods might be listening.
Okay.
To watch over my friends, help them succeed in the biggest mission to save the world of Fantasia.
Coincidentally,
protect my wolf.
most Galka do historically worship Shiva, so that works out for you.
Yeah, I'm sending my prayers
Hell
up
yeah.
to Shiva. Protect my wife. Protect my son. I'm basically going through a list of all the people.
Right.
I'm like, protect Blake, protect Duchess, protect Izzy, protect Nozak, protect Ava, protect Queen Sarah, protect my wife, protect my son, protect sorry, I'm starting to break starting to mess myself up.
I haven't heard Moro's name yet.
Oh, fuck Moro.
Who?
We'll worry about him tomorrow.
Watch, like guide my hand, use my body. I do this for everyone that I love, everyone that I've tried to protect. If this is the end for me, I do so willingly. I do so proudly. I go in with courage, with the love of all my friends and family behind me, pushing my shoulders forward. And to all my former comrades, I spill blood for you today.
As you continue your march, it's that kind of pre-dawn light. You guys had come in kind of the middle of the night, right before you were getting out, right as the sun was kind of coming up. So the soon-to-be battlefield is, for the most part, still covered in shadow, as the light's just barely peeking above the distance, the hills from the distance. As you continue your walk, you see that the Dark Knight is still standing, great sword drawn, kind of down at his side, with his hand placed upon the gate that's been drawn. But as you make your approach, he starts to turn his head just over his shoulder. And he sees you approaching him. His hand comes off the door as he just kind of turns around and takes his sword again and just kind of stabs it back into the ground and just kind of watches you for a minute. At this point, you're probably 300 feet away. What are you doing?
I bow to him, say one last prayer to Shiva, stab my sword in the ground too. Pick up some dirt, rub my hands together with Alexandria's dirt. Pull up the sword or eclipse, bang my shield twice, point it at him, and do a double time towards him.
Okay. He watches you for a minute. And at this point, it's not an all-out sprint, right? You're kind of just... you picked up, you're kind of jogging towards him, or are you just sprinting?
300 feet is quite a bit to run, but you know
Yeah.
what? Sure, I'll sprint.
Okay.
I'll pick up speed. I'll like kind of go and then pick up more and then
You
head
hear,
straight into him.
just as you're running, you hear just this voice that seems a little bit more elevated, kind of carries to you easier than you would expect at this distance. Crystal Bearer, you can't hope to leave this field alive. What do you do? It is his voice.
Yeah. I kind of chuckle. It's like, I do what I must do. Come, let us dance.
Okay. At this point, once you get about 100 feet away, we roll initiative.
One.
Love that.
Oh no!
Which, actually is perfect for tanks.
True, but the tanks alone.
1-on-1.
Okay, dude, that wasn't good.
I'm not going to burn my inspiration on it.
Okay,
Well, I mean, you
Well.
either be going first or second anyway.
true. There's only a couple things that could happen here. You're either first or
Dead.
yeah.
I mean, what?
No. All right. So, at this point, you are
Don't like that.
running at him
You fuck off.
as his head just kind of cocks to the side, and for 110 feet as you're just charging at him, he's just watching you. He says that and then stares at you as though he's expecting you to stop, to come to your senses, as he seems to be standing. Once you get about 120 feet away, he grabs his sword with his right hand and yanks it out of the ground. And then with his other hand, he holds it up, and you see flames start to billow around his hand as he just points it at you. And from the palm of his hand launches this huge orb of hellfire that comes streaking at you. I need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
Fireball.
Oh, wait a minute. I do have... Where is it? I am using my... Oh, wait. It's a bonus action. I can add my shield's AC bonus to any dexterity saving throw you make against affects that target only me.
Shield Master. So this is not a targeted spell. It is like an AoE type spell, though. So he targets an area, not you specifically. But
Ooh, that was a sick sound.
That I will burn my inspiration on.
okay, fair enough. Let's see.
Not
This
much
is
better.
tense. 4.
D&D
Hey.
Beyond is saying this is your time.
Tell me, do you have resistance to either fire or necrotic damage?
Fire.
Okay.
Because of the materia.
Perfect. You're right. Right. So as this thing streaks towards you, I assume. What do you do? Do you just keep running at it, or what do you do?
If I was able to like do anything to knock it, I don't think I have anything.
Okay, rude with all those.
So,
Oh,
fire
and if-
damage.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead. So what were you gonna say?
No. I was trying to look at my ability to see if it actually does anything with it, but it doesn't.
So, 35 fire damage halved. So,
17?
17. And then on top of that, $37 points of necrotic damage. As this hellfire orb flies out, as you take your shield and try to knock it away, you make contact with it, and it just explodes over your shield and engulfs you, hotter than normal fire, as you can feel your skin already starting to burn. At the same time, where the flames lick, you feel parts of your skin start to just eat away, as though they're just kind of being rotted from the fire itself instead of burn.
I'm using Endurance, my third one for today,
Okay.
to
With
reduce
that-
it by 1d12 plus 5.
Okay. With that is his turn.
So 13 resisted. How far away am I?
He launched that when you were about 100 feet away.
Ooh, still got a lot to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
That one had a
move
big
up
range
30
on it.
No problem. I am going to move up 30 feet and throw Firebolt from Eclipse.
Hey, go for it.
I doubt that hits.
Well, misses. As you shoot, and you're just not as proficient at magic as some of your friends, as it just kind of goes wide. It slams into the gate of Alexandria behind him. Just kind of looks over his shoulder at the
And-
burnt.
I assume using my Ring of Spell Storing takes up an action, right?
I believe it takes the... I think it takes whatever the spell is that you cast. So if it has an action or a bonus action. I think that makes more sense. Otherwise, you'd have to use an action and then a bonus action. So
I'm reading Banishing Smite right now.
I'm assuming
Oh, it's a bonus action.
I'll let you use... Yeah, so
Yeah.
just say you use it as a bonus action.
Okay, then that means I can still try and throw another Firebolt. Will a 15 hit?
15 misses. At this point, it hits his his shoulder armor and just kind of goes over it. You can't win this, Crystal Bearer.
He was a great man. We loved him dearly.
Oh, so he just said something?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna call out. I'm not going. I'm not here to win this.
And why are you here?
To give them time.
That music change was timed perfectly, by the way. I do not take credit for that. God, Sirenscape, you are amazing.
I am
Right.
going to use my let's see, Banishing Smite off of my ring
Okay.
onto my sword.
Okay. As you hold it, and you unleash the power of the stored spell into your sword. As you're holding it, as the power flows from one hand into the other, into the sword, you're hit with memories and emotions of your wife, the one who cast this spell. You feel emboldened. as your grip tightens on the sword, and you can feel the magic channeling into it. Is that your turn?
That was my bonus, and yes, I have a new reaction now.
Okay.
So
With this, he just stares at you, and you can't see his face for the helmet. But his head is cocked, kind of like a curious dog, right? As he just lowers his greatsword to the ground and just starts walking towards you, dragging it behind him, just carving a line in the dirt behind him as he closes the distance 30 feet and then brings his sword up, holding it with both hands in front of his face and just waiting.
Okay,
Come
Pyramid
then.
Head.
Delay as long as you can. And he holds his action.
So
Your turn.
what are we like? How far away are we now?
So you're 100,
90
you
feet?
closed
Oh.
30 to 70. He closed 30, so 40 feet.
Mhm.
All right.
And yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to. Oh, I don't have like a charge move.
That just would have been real clutch right now.
Right? No, I am just going to run in and throw a couple more
Powerbolts as you're running.
fireboats. Yeah.
Okay. Give me the attack.
Oh, that's horrible.
7. These rolls tonight.
That's even more.
11.
Wow.
No, both miss. It's hard because you're shooting these off as you're running at him, and you're still just not really proficient with magic yet, and they're just going wide. You close the 30 feet. On his turn, he just remains at the ready. He's waiting for you to make the first move. It's back to your turn. I mean,
Okay.
he shot the fireball, but he's waiting for you to engage melee combat first.
And I close the last distance, and I attack with Eclipse.
Okay. He was holding an action. So as you
Yep.
close in, he will make one attack on you with his greatsword. Does a 28 hit? I'm assuming it does.
28 does, and I'm trying to remember if my shield ability would. No, it only does +5, so.
Yeah. Why does it make me roll so many different things?
You could choose not to. Like, that's an option, yeah. I'm getting tingles in my arm.
So he comes in with sorry.
Oh, hold on.
28.
Actually,
Go ahead.
I can
Sorry.
do my warding maneuver to do 1d8 armor. So I'm
Okay.
doing that.
Could
So
you
I
make-
need a 6 or better.
Okay.
1.
You got this.
No, I need a 7 or 8. Nope.
4. So with that, you take 28 points. 10 of it is slashing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, 10 of it is slashing. 18 of it is necrotic. As this greatsword just comes across, as you run in, it just kind of catches you across the chest. And where it cuts, you feel just the necrotic energy scorching out around it. At this point, you can feel the burns on your body. If you glance down, you can see there's parts of your shoulder that are starting to just, skin is just kind of hanging loose off of it, just dead and falling off of the muscle.
Hot.
Your turn.
Is the field is pretty much the wall or gate and open field, right?
It's open field. It almost looks like there used to be there's no grass here either. It looks like at some point it was scorched or something, and the grass has not grown back. Relatively flat, not a lot of things to hide around. Up towards the 30 feet behind him, where the actual gate is, there are some different carts and things abandoned at this point, and some stalls where some markets were set up. But as far as where you two are engaged, there's not really anything around within 30 feet.
All right, here we go. First eclipse.
Nah,
Oh
is that
my
a 1?
God.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
God, Grunthor.
It's literally meant to just kill me off immediately.
As you come in with your sword, he just knocks it away. You don't lose it, but he just kind of bats it away easily and just kind of laughs. Is that what you bring to
And
the
with
table?
that- I do one more.
Go for it. How many attacks you got now? 2 or 3?
That's my second one. I think I only have 2, right?
7 will hit. 27 definitely hits. I can't remember when
Yeah, I
fighters get multi-attack 3.
It's telling me I can only attack twice. So.
Okay.
All right, so
Yeah, that hits with a
1d8
banishing
plus
smite.
4. It's 27. Wait, 11 points of damage from that, and an
Okay.
extra 5d10.
Okay, 5d10.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
That's big boy damage.
That's a 5th level spell, right?
Yep,
Additional
for
23.
not great, but 23 force damage.
Okay.
Oh, and let's do the whole 1d6 of fire damage.
Might as well. Hey, 6! There you go. Yeah, and surprisingly, this dude's not resistant to fire damage. Thought he would be with all the fire stuff he's throwing around. Is there any other aspect of Banishing Smite? Or is it just that big hit?
No, as soon as I hit, it just goes away. If he had less than 50 hit points, I can banish it.
Okay.
But, yeah. The last thing I'm going to do is with my bonus action is use my shove the creature 5 feet away from me.
Okay. Is there a roll for that, or does it just happen?
It just happens.
Okay.
Shield Master shove.
You take your shield and just kind of put everything you have behind it and push him as he gets knocked back 5 feet. Huh. Seems you're not so useless after all. He takes another step towards you and he closes the gap. And at this point, you are taller than this person. So, you're kind of looking down at him as he's looking up. So a little bit harder to intimidate, but as he just kind of makes what you assume is eye contact, because like I said, his mask just completely obscures everything you can see. I'm going to give you one last chance, Crystal Bearer. You're on the wrong side of this war. It's coming. The Empire will stand victorious in the end. You can die here today. You can join us. We could use people like you. We could use people with that power. Kind of gestures towards your crystal. Don't throw your life away for a lost cause. But if you want to, I will be more than happy to take it.
Hold on, he's low-key cooking.
Let him cook.
What are you doing? That
I
was
just-
That was his action. That is his turn.
Okay. I bow my head down and just start laughing and laughing. And I look up at him, just tears streaming down my eyes, laughing so hard at him. I was like, that's your offer? Join you? I have 2 words for you. Fuck you. And I take my crystal into my hand, grab my sword with the crystal against the sword blade, and just ram the sword right into him.
Okay. Give me an attack. I'll give you advantage.
21.
will hit. That hits. As you take the sword and you just with your crystal, you ram it through his stomach as it just goes into the midsection and out the back. Roll for damage, and I'll give you crit damage on it.
Does this also include banishing, or is that a one-time thing? I don't know.
That's a one-time
That was
thing.
a one-time thing.
Okay.
14.
And my
that?
fire. It should be already doubled because it doubled the D. Wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doubled the D8 to a 5 and 5.
Okay.
1 point for the fire.
Now what do you want to do? You have another attack.
Now, so I literally did that so that like it cuts into my hand, so blood is flowing through the crystal into him.
Okay.
And while it's still in him, I'm just gonna try and.
Okay,
Lift him
shut her
up.
off. Let's go.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Hang
I
on.
don't know if you meant to do a Final Fantasy VII reference there,
Oh,
but you
I'm
did.
getting it. I'm getting it.
So
I'm getting it.
that's cool. Give me an athletics check for that.
26.
26. That'll do. You lift him up. You've impaled him, and you just kind of lift him into the air as he holds onto his sword. But as he's just lifted, you kind of bring him up to where he's just staring down at you. Is that your turn?
Yes, I don't think I have anything bonus action. No.
Okay. On his turn, he's kind of you have him hanging above you. Your muscles just even as strong as you are starting to just quiver a little bit, just holding up his weight with the person in the armor. He's kind of just dangling there, great sword in one hand off to the side, and he looks down at you. Very well. He takes his left hand and he reaches out and he grabs the hilt of your sword and he pulls himself down the sword as it just kind of goes further and further until he's up, until it's buried into his stomach. The entirety of the blade sticking out of his back as he brings his greatsword up and he's going to bring it down and try to attack you.
So I found the image in Players Lounge.
21. Will that hit?
No, it doesn't. I have 22.
Okay. As he swings it, you manage to just kind of move him out of the way. He comes in for another attack. 28.
And that will hit, and unfortunately my shield will not help me.
Okay. So that is
Can you use a warding move and limit break?
10 points of
No,
slashing
warding move
damage.
won't help.
No.
10 points of slashing. Aye. This one's fine. And oh shit, I'm doing the wrong one.
Oh, hold on, chill out, dude.
25 points of necrotic damage.
I am going to use Stone's Endurance to reduce that. Let's see. 1d12 plus 5. That's not going to be enough.
Are you unconscious?
Uh-huh.
Okay. With that, as you're holding him up, all you see is this sword kind of come down towards you, and then blackness. As you lose consciousness.
Ava, turn the boat around. I can heal him.
Wait for that fifth.
Your eyes fly open as a pain shoots through your chest, bringing you out of your unconscious state. As you look up, there's a sword, your sword, driven straight through your heart, pinning you to the ground. As your eyes flutter open for just a moment. As you look up, the dark night kind of standing over you, driving this sword down through your body into the ground. What are you thinking right now? In this moment, you see your life slipping away.
Did I give enough time for some people to make it out? And my absolute final thoughts are of my wife, my son, my companions, especially Blake and Duchess, Queen Sarah, and very last thing, take that, Shiva.
Eyes start to flutter, and it becomes harder and harder to breathe. You start gasping, and eventually you try to draw breath, and it's just not happening. You can feel your extremities going numb as the Dark Knight just kind of releases, says nothing, just kind of stands there. He starts coming in and out of focus as your eyes kind of blink. Behind him, you can see the city of Alexandria. With the sunlight finally coming up over the hills, the daylight kind of being cast across the battlefield is now illuminating the city in a light that it wasn't before. The dawn of a new day. As eventually, sleep overtakes you, and you pass away. So, back on the boat.
Gonna fucking listen to the rabbit.
What is happening back on the boat?
Wait, hang on.
Those
I
of you
just
have
realized. Would Nozak notice? Because I used one of my infusions on him for his armor. So would I notice when that goes?
you would.
Would it be?
Yeah, I
I
think you would
think
have
it
that
does.
connection. Yeah. Back
I
on
was
the boat.
gonna ask if Blake would know too, because of the strings.
There is a moment of tense silence. Since you've kind of taken off, no one's really spoken, no one's really talked, and everyone's just kind of been in their corners. Blake, you do sense something. You had been concentrating so hard on just trying to maintain his threads of life. And even at this distance, you can't see them, but there was just a part of it that still you could feel based on your connection, based on just a gut feeling. But you don't feel that anymore. Similarly, Nozak, you would feel the fading of your magic, the connection you have to that particular piece of equipment. Izzy, you are oblivious. Unless you have some reason that you would understand, unless you would know.
You know, it's really funny you say that. Izzy put a Fitbit on him before he left.
He's not gotten any steps in like the last 10
Apple
minutes,
tracker.
guys.
His heart rate is abnormally low for some reason.
Oh, yeah. What are you all doing? It's Blake and Nozak. I imagine you lock eyes as you just kind of, as this realization hits you, you're kind of scanning around, and the two of you notice each other, and you both seem to have the same knowing look. Something has happened. What do you do?
I feel like Nozak is definitely still furious as all shit. And I think at the moment now, with the realization, like, he's still really angry, but I feel like now it's on a whole nother level of emotionally driven. And, like, even looking as pissed as he is, I think he just starts crying. Because it's like he knows now. When looking at you, when looking at Blake, Nozak's just, like, tears running down his eyes. He's gonna be like, he should have fucking listened to me.
Blake is gonna get up and go to Nozak and like kind of start to scoop him up and like pause like for like can I hug you?
Oh, yeah, I
Like
forgot he's canonically shorter than you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. And just kind of like scoop Nozak up and just like hug him. And just kind of do the back pat of like I don't know what to say. Yeah.
As you're doing
Which is
that,
like
you start to hear a sad weeping coming from Duchess. Just picking up on the vibe, the emotions. You see Duchess just kind of curled up into a ball, feathers kind of shaking, and just making this very sad kind of cooing noise over and over. Izzy, at this point, you would probably start to figure out either something's up or just everyone's being super emotional. Izzy would have to determine what he would think.
Now this. Now this man knows nothing about emotions. So he looks at them and, in his already "I'm very upset" state, just turns back to looking into the middle distance.
So, what are y'all doing?
Blake's gonna go over to Duchess and kind of like sit next to her and hold her head and like preen her like top feathers and like rub her, try to comfort her.
I
So
can't believe this is
strange.
Harlequin's new character.
At this point, you feel a
It's
tight.
poultry.
No.
What good is inspiration
Jeez.
going to do you right now?
Duchess can have inspiration.
Well,
Include the bird.
at this point, Nozak, you feel just a gentle kind of tug on your your shoulder, or like your sleeve. I mean, as you turn around, Nellie's standing there. Mr. Bunnyman, what's happening? I'm confused. Why is everyone sad, and why did Mr. Grunthor have to get off the boat?
Quee.
Shut up. No more. Stop. Please, I beg.
Like a soundboard of Queen.
Even as angry as Nozak is, as he has such a soft spot with the kids, so I feel like he like takes a deep breath and just tries to steady himself, probably failing. Do you remember back at your home? You remember when I took you to see your dad? And I said how brave and how courageous he was, that he had done so much to save as many people in that town as he could. Do you
Yeah,
remember that, Nellie?
I remember.
Grunthor is just like him, in the sense that his duty to his friends, to his family, to the people, he He wanted to do the right thing, and the right thing was to protect and help as many people as he could. And so now we have someone else that we are going to respect and remember as one of the most courageous and heroic people we have ever met. And I know for a damn good fact that your daddy's up there and is congratulating him on helping so many people. And I think at that point, Nozak is just going to kind of break down completely.
As you do that, you notice that Nellie has started to cry also. So is Mr. Grunthor not coming back like Daddy?
Not this time.
Oh,
Not this time, mate. I'm sorry.
okay.
But we do what we did with your dad. And we think of the good. That's what we always do. When someone passes, we always think of the good. There's no reason to speak ill of those that pass, especially when they do something so righteous and correct, and standing their moral ground to help those.
What was...
Blake. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No.
Uh,
Can Blake hold out her hand and just have like glowing light on it? And if Nozak touches it, it's like it's catnip, basically.
you want to
So
try to
basically,
cast
like
calm
it's calm
emotions on...
Yeah, but no, like only if he want. Like
So the way this will work is you can cast calm emotions, but you see Nozak that she is doing this. You do have the choice to purposely fail if you want to accept it. And because of the way that she's casting it, I'll say, or you could purposely succeed to avoid it. So the choice is yours, but it will take the spell slot
yeah.
to cast. So the
I
choice is
think
yours, Nozak.
he's gonna notice what you're doing, and I think carefully he's gonna like hold the bottom of your palm, so not like the open palm where the cast is being spelt. He's gonna like gently touch the bottom of your hand and slowly close your fingers into your palm. And I think Nozak's just gonna be like, I have seen too much death, and I have seen too many people lose their lives for things whether they believed it or not. I'll be fine. And I think Nozak's just gonna walk off and just kind of like find a corner to sit in.
As he walks off, Nellie kind of turns to you, Blake. Mr. Bunnyman told me that Sir Grunthor isn't coming back anymore, but that we should think of the happy times. Do you have any happy stories about Mr. Grunthor?
oh. Well, one time when I was really scared of heights, we were up in a really a tall, and she's crying. Like there's like we were up in this city way up in the clouds. The most fantastic thing you've ever seen, probably. And I'm really scared of heights. And Mr. Grunthor knew I was scared, so he put me in a saddlebag with Duchess to try to keep me calm. And it was silly.
He used to give me little rides around too. He would just put me on and just kind of in a little circle, but it was fun. I'm gonna
Yeah,
miss that.
he was kind to the little folk. And when we were up in the same city, I watched him and Duchess I met his son, probably not much older than you. And he did the same thing. He put him on she's trying really hard not to call Duchess the chicken.
Yeah.
Queen.
No, stop.
So when we come out, there's going to be a little soundboard of Grunthor going,
We're gonna have to put one together.
Oh.
As you're kind of saying that, another voice behind you, Queen Sarah, kind of speaks up. You know, I don't think I'd be here where I am today if it wasn't for him. I know I'm young, naive, but he gave me strength. The way that he was so sure of everything, the way that he knew right from wrong, the way that he protected people, it inspired me. It inspired me to stand up to my father. It inspired me to do what I thought I had to do. And I won't let that sacrifice be in vain. I will make sure his legacy lives on through the deeds that we do. Fighting the Empire, living our lives. But damn it, I'm really gonna miss him. She just kind of sits down against the side of the boat, goes over next to Duchess, just kind of pets her a little bit.
I think Blake is going to kind of maneuver Nellie to Sarah and Duchess and kind of have Sarah take over.
Okay.
Watching Nellie. And then Blake is going to go to Nozak.
Okay. At this point, Izzy, you're probably close enough to overhear whatever they're saying. Just if you'd like to jump in.
He hasn't moved. He hasn't moved from his spot.
Yeah. Just if you hear something, you would be able to probably pick up on it. There's not a lot of room to get away from it. But Blake, what are you doing?
I was going to say, if Nozak tosses Blake off the boat, you might notice.
As you walk over, Izzy just starts preparing Featherfall just in case.
That is a bold assumption.
I don't think. I was gonna say I don't think Izzy knows. I think Nozak knows about the Guardian thing. I don't think anybody else does.
No one knows about it because
nobody knows about
your
it.
Message.
Yeah, you're the only one that knows at this point.
No, I told Nozak that was what Renoa had said that they could do.
Sure.
Early on.
I think so, but you didn't tell anybody that you told them to do it.
Yeah. But that's what I was trying to say. I don't think that Izzy heard the.
Gotcha.
That was what I meant.
Okay.
So I don't know if you would know why she was going over to talk to him.
I'm just saying, if you're going over to Nozak, just keep in mind he does not know that you told Renoa to pull the trigger.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
Also, I have a emotional support bear because my dog stole my emotional support sloth. I was looking over to hold it, and it wasn't here. So I think that she dragged it off into the other room. So
I have my emotional support angel.
Oh, it's Grunthor.
Yeah, dead.
No. Don't ruin the moment. All right, Blake, what are you doing?
All right. So Blake is going to go up to Nozak and kind of stand. Are you at the railing, or?
Where would he go? I think he would have gone. Maybe. Depending on the ship, is there the under part where Ava's kind of controlling it, or is that up the top?
That's kind of more of
a
the back, kind of elevated. Kind of imagine like a pirate ship, just kind of elevated at the back there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think if there is a spot where he could go that's like near the edge, like near the side thing, but still like just kind of taking spot away from everybody else to kind of give himself time.
She's gonna go over and kind of lean on the railing next to him and not really be like looking at him, but just like, I need to talk to you about something.
Now?
Yeah, now.
I suppose I can't really wait about anything. We're not going anywhere else.
Well, I feel like you're gonna find out anyways. I'd rather tell you now than you find out from someone else.
Another negative thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Seems to be the thing with me between Adonis and the Pox. Finding out from Hikael and now this as well.
Well, I think you can put most of the blame on me. I will, but you remember how I said I reached out to Renoa and she said that they couldn't deploy people in time, but they could unleash the Guardians?
Yeah.
She got back to me after Grunthor got off the boat and asked me what I wanted to do.
That was up to you then. The choice that was made. I
I told her to send them.
think at that point, Nozak's kind of just so emotionally drained and just in such a deep depression at the moment with everything that's been going on that I don't even think he kind of reacts at first. I don't think he says or does anything. He just kind of sits there and just like takes in what was said.
She's gonna like turn and like act like this whole time like she's been looking out and not making eye contact, but then she's gonna like turn and be like, I was thinking about what you said when you said that the city is doomed.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, but I think the city is the structures. If the Guardians can go in, give the people more time to get out, if the buildings fall.
The thing is, we don't know that. We don't know
And
for sure what is going to happen because they said themselves, and Hojo said they didn't have control. They didn't have complete control. If they lost control in the city, then what? I mean, I know it was doomed from the beginning, but then it was just doomed by somebody else's hand.
I mean, that was just the only thing I could think of. Either way, it's either
I
have
understand that you were stuck between a rock and a hard place. I get that, don't get me wrong. I've been there before. But I think at this stage, it would have been better if we didn't and just let Alexandria fall to the Empire, because then we take no blame in that. In sending the Guardian forces, I get you wanted to help, I do, and please don't take it the wrong way when I say that I do not think that was the best idea, because now we're dragging Balamb into this war as well, and now we're directly connected to everything. The only true safe haven from this world is Mysidia, and even that's not truly safe anymore. So I understand your decision, but I don't agree with it.
I mean,
So,
if it makes you feel better, I don't really agree with it either.
I don't think right now there's much that's going to make me feel better.
I didn't tell you to make you feel better. I told you because we're going to Balamb and you're going to find out anyways. And I thought it would be better to say it now than
Either way, I wouldn't have been okay with it. We know that. Neither of us
Yeah.
are going to sit here and deny causability. Neither of us are going to sit here and say one decision was better than the other, because they're both not good decisions. Either Alexandria falls and we did nothing to help it, or Alexandria falls and now at least we tried something, even if that also leads to a negative response. So I get that you were stuck between a rock and a hard place, and I get that you made the decision that you thought was best. But I don't think you're thinking of the bigger picture here, in that in bringing in the Guardian forces, we're dragging Balamb into a war that they were previously just preparing for. Now we've kind of sped up their production, we've sped up their resources in a way that makes it harder for us to get the job done, because now we've got to worry about them as well. And I didn't mean it earlier in saying that I didn't care if cities fell, because Grunthor said to me that what's the difference between Balamb and Alexandria is that we have connections in Balamb. We've spent time with them. We didn't do that with Alexandria. So when I said I didn't care if they fell, it's because I don't have any connections there. I don't have any ties that I can pull to help. And I'm slowly but surely realizing that maybe if I can try and pull strings with Noctis, that maybe it might make things easier. I don't think there is any real right or wrong answer for now, Blake. I don't think we now are in a position where we can say whether we are good or evil anymore. Because right now we are we are making the decisions we can at the time that sound correct, whether it's right or wrong. We still have a mission to do. We still have 2 crystals. That is the correct thing to do. But we've also seen what happens when we destroyed the water crystal, or when we destroyed the wind crystal, and all of that left and gone, and people are starting to get stranded. Merchants and cities are falling due to economic disparity. So even though it's the correct thing to do, it isn't necessarily the right thing at the time. And I don't know if even we can trust Shiva at this point. Because if Shiva's supposed to be the champion of us and the Crystal Bear, whatever the fuck they're calling us, Grunthor's not here anymore. So clearly we don't matter to her either. So I don't know what to do anymore, because I don't trust anything. And I'm going to message you, Wolf, about talking to you about something after today.
Okay.
Because Nozak is going to say the words, "There is no God, and I revoke any reason to believe in one." And
Okay.
Nozak, whether you are taking my levels away, I completely understand. Nozak is completely revoking his cleric
Okay.
religion upbringing.
Send me that. We'll work through some details. We'll figure out what to do there.
Hey, DM, real quick, can I have him? Like, if he's just gonna
levels
throw
on
his
the
like cleric
table.
level, can I just take him? No, I'm kidding.
Blake,
Is
do you have
these like
anything you'd
spell
like
slots? Where?
to...
Also, yes, Izzy, I will take my Oscar. Thank you.
Do you have a response, Blake?
Sorry, I do love you, Blake. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just trying to. We're both trying to process thoughts.
We're both really fucked at the moment.
Yeah.
Way to go, Harlequin. Way to go. Good job, Grunthor. You're messing everybody up.
What's
It's
your
Blake's
fault.
Listen to
She
the
opened up-
buddy.
Blake opened up her damn mouth. It was like, wait, we have a
Also-
cleric on board. I don't think that this. Like, what are we
Also-
doing?
just above table real quick, Blake and I were messaging each other last week or the week before, and Blake was like, I very nearly jumped ship with him. And I said, honestly, if you had, Nozak would have been in there as well. And then I felt
Oh.
so bad because Blake was like, fuck!
Yeah, that would have been interesting had Blake
I meant
jumped.
to
If you
happen!
jumped, what would have and I don't want to point this out, but you did have other 3 NPC combatants with you. You had Biggs, Wedge, and Sarah too.
Yeah,
So
I
2
reckon
of you
if you
jump
had,
off, Sarah's probably
Nozak
going.
probably would have. Yeah, it would have just been that everyone's going now at this
Just
stage.
Izzy and Ava like, fuck these guys, just taking off.
That
We'll
would be
take the
funny.
boat back.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
see you guys. We'll just take the kids
I-
home.
I did legitimately think about it, and then I remembered all of my rolls, and I was like,
Hmm.
and we still haven't had a long rest, so I am at 30 out
Yeah.
of 63.
Oh my
Yeah, it's been a long day. I mean, Grunthor, may they rest in peace at the moment. They took on an Archmage and the Dark Knight in the same day. Let that sink in. Like in the
What a
last
fucking
8 hours or
legend.
whatever. He took
How-
on
how
Yeah.
Adonis and the Dark Knight solo.
What a
Yeah,
fucking
also-
legend.
Also,
How
I'm
much-
just saying, y'all are talking about hit points. I'm down a whole 2 spell slots, guys.
I don't
Yeah,
even
Izzy's had
have-
like
oh
the
my God.
easiest journey over this whole thing.
I have 3 level 1s, 1 level 2, 1 level 4, and 2 level 5s. So I'm not
I am-
totally fucked, but I'm like,
I'm down 3
It would
hit
have been a
points
hard
and no
one.
spell slots. Like, I'm good.
and I think like half of my spell slots have been message. Like legitimately.
Or sending.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
been sending.
I just
Um,
want a little side note. You guys have more hit points than I do.
Oh, that's a first. Oh my God. It's kind of sad. I need to scroll up. I don't like looking at the little character portrait now. There we go. What was your overall hit points? It was like
114.
114. Yeah, I thought it was pretty high. 113 with a AC of like 400. 22, was it? It was up there. I'm surprised I ever did damage to you. So, the journey back to Balamb continues. And I'm imagining relative silence. I don't imagine there's a lot of chatter going on. Am I wrong to assume that?
Oh, we're having a gay old time.
Okay. Eventually,
it's so cheery. Like we're
Oh,
we're
yeah.
having a party.
drinking games. Eventually, it seems Duchess has cried herself to sleep and is just kind of. The noises have stopped. Her breathing is now more regulated, and she seems to have kind of just drifted off. Nellie has also kind of drifted off, just lying there cuddling. Sarah's just kind of staring at them, kind of just gently petting Duchess. And then Ava says something. We have something coming on the horizon. Kind of points off towards where he's flying.
Nozak's gonna look up. I don't think Nozak will be sleeping much tonight. So Nozak's
Well, at this
gonna
point,
kinda
it's
just-
actually kind of more early day. It's just has been a long day.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So
What-
it's kind of midday at this point because you're kind of going back towards Balamb. It's been a long day, and Nellie's 10, so she drifted off.
Okay.
So
What? How about to say? I imagine Izzy kind of standing at the front. Does he see anything?
give me a perception check. You definitely
I
see
guess.
something, but let's see what your perception says.
Okay, nice. That's a 17.
17. There is something coming in your direction. It seems like it's pretty far away, too far at the moment to make out any kind of shape. Surprising to you, though, because as far as you know, you do have the only functioning airship.
That didn't help. All right. Uh,
Can,
yeah,
all
I
it said
guess
was
I'll
yes,
just
sir.
keep an eye out.
can Blake kind of lean over and try to see?
Yeah, I think Nozak will probably have a look as well.
Perception checks from both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Blake. You have a plus
17,
8.
10. Do you roll a
I'm not
9?
seeing shit.
Or, plus 8. Okay. 10. Yeah, it's just, there's something in the distance that's coming in your direction. That's back at this point. But it seems to be growing faster and faster. And Ava at this point is kind of staring at it. It's hard to tell whether or not your paths are, if you're going to like cross paths with it or where it is, because it's still kind of far off. What are y'all doing?
I am going to just move to the front of the ship.
Okay.
And I am going to just keep a close eye on whatever the fuck is going on over here.
Okay.
How big is the airship again?
The airship is about the same size as like the boat that you were on. So I'm envisioning just like a normal like pirate ship, like the Black Pearl or something, about that size from Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't have
Oh,
So it's
numbers.
like
Do not.
so
It's a
it's like a
large ship.
large ship.
Yeah, it is a
Oof.
large ship. Yep. The thing, as you're kind of watching, it starts to
Wait.
grow. Oh, go ahead, Blake.
Can
Sorry.
I bless Nozak, Ava, and Izzy?
Absolutely. Bless, bless, bless. As you're watching, Nozak, you're the first one to notice this with your passive perception. The thing is growing bigger, rather fast, actually, and the rate at which it's kind of growing bigger makes you think that it is encroaching
That's what she
incredibly
said.
fast. Hey! um, Eventually, it gets to where Nozak, you're the first one to notice this. You see a creature you've seen before, predominantly yellow, with crackles of electricity flying off of it, kind of dancing around its head and flying off towards the back. Um, the last time you saw this was in a test tube in Hojo's lab. This is the Guardian Force Quetzalcoatl rocketing towards your ship. At this point, whoever is controlling Ava's character, I need you to make me a dexterity check, keeping in mind
Okay.
they have exhaustion.
So, what does exhaustion do at level 1? Sorry, because
Disadvantage on ability checks. So I believe it would be disadvantage for this roll. It's not a saving throw.
Okay,
Just
it's
straight
not a saving throw,
dex.
straight dex. Okay. Okay. Alright, I'm just gonna have to roll it twice because for some reason it's not letting me right click on it.
Right click and do it.
Oh, it's not letting me do any of the rolls for some reason. Like I can't roll.
Alright.
Do you want me
Maybe
to
it
just
won't.
roll 2d20s?
What is here? I might be able to get in and do it. What is their
He's got a
modifier?
dexterity of +3.
Okay. Here, I think I should be able to just get in. I'm DM, so it lets me have more rights.
Okay.
All right, so dexterity. Let's just see what this does. Yeah, that was much better. Okay.
Nice.
9. So, as you notice this, what do you say? What do you say as soon as you notice what's happening, Nozak?
With the Guardian Force, of course it's fucking the one flying one we can think of.
I just
I
like this GF.
It is a good one. I am just going to kind of scream or like yell to just like hold on to something. And I am going to ready a spell at it to see whether it's going to collide with us and see if I can move it, or whether it's going to go around us.
Okay. This thing, as you say that, Ava seems to notice it. Like, he noticed it, of course, but he seems to notice that it is coming at you. And he takes all of his will and he starts to try to maneuver out, but he's not quick enough. As he starts to pull it, this thing is just approaching as fast as it can, and just as it doesn't even seem to notice you. As Ava's trying to pull it off to the side, this thing slams into the back of the ship. Bam! As it just continues on its path, and the airship starts to spin. What are you doing?
As it was coming towards us, I was readying an action to move it. Once it gets to a certain point, I want to cast Vortex Warp on it.
Okay. How does that work, and what does it do?
So, Vortex Warp, you magically twist space around another creature, and you can see within range. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw, or the target can choose to fail, or the target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that I can see within range. It must be on a surface or in a liquid that can support the target without the target having to squeeze. So I would want to try and cast to move it, and I want to try and put it to where it's like on the bottom of the ship. So instead of it crashing into us, it's more going to like appear on the part of it where it can kind of like scoot off, if that makes sense.
You said Constitution saving throw, right?
Yes.
Okay, I got a dirty 20 on the con save.
Well,
Love that.
yeah, that's gonna...
Oh, wait, silvery barbs.
What do I roll for that?
You just re-roll again.
Oh, yeah.
And you take the lower.
That one was way better. So...
Love that.
Still a dirty 20.
I tried, guys.
Had a decent constitution. As you do that, it's just flying too fast. As you try to cast this thing slams into the back of the ship. You hear wood splintering as it just kind of bursts off. As this thing just rockets through, you can hear the crackling of electricity kind of start to go across the ship itself. Nellie and Duchess both wake up screaming as this thing is just spinning around in a circle with Ava trying to get control of it again. What are y'all doing? This thing now just continues its rocket. It's almost like it's paying you no attention as it just off in the direction of Alexandria.
Well, at least it was not aiming for us. That's all that matters. Okay, where is...
It's not all that matters, because at this point you're spinning and losing altitude.
Yeah, okay, that was the second level. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just looking through my spells to see what I've got.
Yeah.
As you're spinning, you hear Big scream.
Love that.
Jesus.
Can't Ava just regain control?
Can try again, yeah. And I'm getting ready to, but I want to see if anybody else is going to. You got hit pretty bad. I mean, sub 10 on the roll. So that means the DC to regain control is higher. What are you doing, Blake?
I don't know if this would work. Because I've never used this spell, so I don't know if it...
Ava has Bless, remember that. So next time you have to roll, we can add a D4.
Yeah.
D4. Gotcha.
So if I get... I have a... Oh, wait, do I have a spell slot?
See, now I have to Google.
Yeah, I do. If I have a Guardian of Faith, does it have to attack?
I don't believe so. I don't remember. I mean, it kind of just appears.
Could I summon a Guardian of Faith and have him grab the ship?
Let's try it. Let's try whatever. That sounds fun.
Sure.
With that, what I'll say is I will, in doing that, I will negate Ava's disadvantage. Essentially, it's trying to help with this. And cost you the spell slot. Is that cool?
Yeah. It's a dex save or I don't know. It does dex stuff.
Well, yeah, we're using it a little differently. So, what does your guardian look like?
It's going to look like. What is it going to look like? It's going to look like an elk, but instead of a elk face, it has a
Like your
a
mask?
skull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as
And
this
then
thing, go
the
ahead.
main. What I was gonna
Oh,
say, the
that's
main is like weeping willow leaves,
Ooh.
and
Oh,
that's
tail is weeping willow,
cool.
and then
I'm
there's
gonna
like
need to see a
fungi
picture of
going up
that.
the horns.
If you ever feel the need to do
I made that shit up off the top of my head, but
Well, luckily we recorded it, so you can just watch this back,
Okay.
this section. So,
Also, if anyone has guidance, now would be the time to use it.
I don't.
can I guide myself?
you can guide yourself, yes.
Is it a bonus action?
Yep.
Okay.
That I don't know.
Well, can I
Or
do
you could
two
guide
actions
Ava.
since we're not in combat?
You have to wait until Ava finishes his roll to do a second
Okay.
action.
All right. So I did. So I have my my guardian out.
Okay. So as your guardian appears, it tries to help stabilize this. As you see Ava also trying to regain control, you're going into like this spin, losing altitude, and just kind of falling down. He is going to try one more time to regain control here. Okay, so I'm just going to do a flat roll.
And add a d4.
10. Okay. You can see I'm not cheating. Like, I'm not rolling these ones secret. Okay. Guys.
Nice.
Okay, full disclosure. The first DC to avoid it was 12. Second DC, because he didn't get the first one, was 15. Okay,
God damn it.
they were not super hard DCs, but the dice tonight. At this point, your guardian just isn't able to help as much as Ava. You can see everything straining in him as he's trying his best to grabbing onto this crystal, just trying his best to keep it. And eventually the force of the spin just kind of gets too much, and you see his grip slowly lose as he just kind of flies off of this thing. The minute his hands disconnect, this ship starts to go into a nosedive, straight towards the ground. Nelly, Luca, freaking out, screaming as you're just plummeting out of the sky.
I'm going to immediately at everybody. So who's on deck? There's the five of us. The four of us, sorry. Luca, Nelly, Sarah, Jane, and Duchess.
And Biggs and Wedge.
And Biggs and Wedge. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think. Okay.
So 4.
I'm
2 kids. 2 of them. Yeah, 11 with Duchess.
okay.
Damn it. There we go.
I don't know if anybody else has it, but I am going to. I'm gonna scream jump, and I'm gonna cast Featherfall on the kids, Sarah, Jane, and Duchess first.
Okay. 1, 2. So that's
Keep in mind,
5, right?
I do have my broom.
That's why I'm cutting you out of it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna cast Featherfall on them 5 first.
Okay.
And then once the rest of us jump out, I am going to cast Featherfall again on the last 5.
Okay. Well, one
Hold on.
second.
Is
There might be a
Featherfall?
problem.
Oh, thank God. It's not concentration.
It's not
Thank God.
concentration.
Not
That's what I was checking.
concentration.
I was checking. I really thought it was. So I
It's
was
not
like,
concentration, it is considered a reaction.
okay.
So,
The first
Perfect.
reaction is when shit's going south. And then I'm gonna, we all jump, and then I'm gonna cast it again on everybody else. So all 10 of us that isn't
Wow.
Izzy has Featherfall.
Okay.
yeah. Speaking of Izzy, he immediately hops on his broom. How far is Ava away from him?
Ava would probably be within 30 feet of you.
Okay,
30
awesome.
to
I have
40
50
feet,
feet.
yeah. You could
So
get to
I'm
him
at the
with
front
your
of the
broom in one mission. one mission, one movement.
One mission.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to think what the best option in this moment would be, because my biggest thing is getting the ship in order, because regardless, me and Ava will be fine if we fail this, as long as we jump in time. So okay, so I can get to him in 30. How much movement would it be to get back to basically pull him back to the steering wheel?
To pull him back to the steering wheel, he only got thrown about 5 or so feet. So
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he just kind of got thrown off of it.
Yeah, then he immediately he flies over on his broom, just grabs his hand and just shoves it back onto the thing.
Okay.
And I am going to. Sorry, I'm trying to read how this spell works because I don't get to use it very often. At the end of this.
I like this music too. Sirenscape has done well for me tonight.
Perfect. What's actually? Oh, okay. That wouldn't. Oh, would this be considered an object interaction? Getting the thing to work, basically.
For him, I mean, it's a full action for him, not just because it's not an object. He has to kind of maintain it, take control. It would be his full action to do so. So not just like the drink, like the.
Okay, but basically,
interaction.
does it? Okay, despite that, does it still count as an object interaction, or are you counting it as something else?
Sure. What are you trying to do? Tell me what you're trying to do, and let's see what happens.
I'm trying to cast a spell that might give him a little some to help with that. But if it doesn't count as an object interaction, there's no point.
Well, let me know what the spell is.
Oh, it's haste.
Tell me. Well, haste would give him an additional action, right? At least.
Yes.
So that, you know what? He'd at least have 2 tries within the next 6 seconds. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Double the chances.
Then while he's falling, as I pull up my spell guide, because I'd be forgetting that this exists nowadays.
Well, then answer me this too. What specifically does haste say about object interactions?
Specifically, that action can only be used to take an attack when weapon attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object interaction.
Oh, yeah, it'll work for this. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure, because that would be garbage if I had wasted it. Okay, I'm just gonna control. I'm just gonna control F, because
I'd let you roll that back if that was the case.
Okay, cool. So he pulls him there, and then you guys see that Izzy pulls out a licorice root, and as he does, he speaks his incantation, and you see he draws a rune into the air, and underneath Ava, even while he's falling underneath his feet, it kind of like stabilizes him in the air as you see a clock rune appears, and he is going to essentially be flying down next to Ava, so he can grab him if anything happens.
Okay, perfect.
And he just calls out, "Now would be the perfect time to get your whole thing to work."
Let me ask you this: the rest of you, have you already actually, Nozak, you cast Featherfall on 5 people. The 5 people you cast it on.
Oh, thank you.
Get lifted off like they're in a parachute. As this thing continues to plummet, they stop falling as fast. So they are now in the air, suspended and lowering down. Did you cast it both already?
Who's left? It's us 4, or us 3. Biggs and Wedge.
Right in the sky right now, it's what, Jane, Sarah, and the 2 kids, and
Duchess are in the sky. Yeah, because they're the main priorities. Sure. Not the rest of us. We all suck. And then the last 5 would be myself, Blake, Ava, Biggs and Wedge.
Sure.
But I think if seeing Izzy go to Ava, I might just cast it on the 4 of us instead.
Okay.
So myself, Blake, Biggs and Wedge.
Yeah.
So then at the very least, if shit goes south with the ship, I know that Izzy can get Ava out, because Ava's only light. And everybody else will have the feather falling.
So as you cast that, the 4 of you get lifted off the ship as it's plummeting towards the ground. At this point, it's Ava and Izzy. and Ava is back up, trying to take control. As you cast the haste spell, you can see his mind starts to work faster. You see he focuses. He's still exhausted, so he still has disadvantage on this. And because at this point, how long does your Guardian of Faith last? Blake.
Oh,
And what's its movement? Can you move it, or did it stay stationary?
duration is 8 hours.
Okay.
Range is, I guess, 30 feet.
Does it say you can
is the
move it at all?
speed- A large spectral guardian appears and hovers for the duration. It occupies space of your choice. We can see it.
So otherwise, it would stay here as they continue to plummet down.
No, I don't think it moves.
Okay. So we got 2 chances here, 2 rolls.
Lucian's gonna watch as we plummet.
So yeah. All right. Roll 1. Oh my God, that was 2 3s. As he's
All right,
struggling.
you're not allowed to roll for us anymore.
All I'm doing is clicking. It's not me. Every roll tonight has been like sub 10. This has been ridiculous. Like over here on
Except
the
for
side. Well, no, there's a
42.
70. There's 17.
I haven't
One more
rolled at all
chance.
Yet.
With this.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You got this, Ava. I believe in you. Well,
Oh my God, it was the exhaustion. That was a natural 20, but with the exhaustion, he's holding on, and at this point, your ground's coming close. Izzy, as you're kind of doing calculations, you think it's shit or get off the pot time.
DM. So he is going to grab Ava's hand while he's flying up. I think now would be the perfect time to try some RPBS.
Okay.
Can I try to feel again?
What are you trying to do?
I don't know.
What
I
are
don't
you
know. I just
feeling?
thought
Like,
try something.
what's going through? Yeah, but what's going through Izzy's mind right now? What's happening?
I think as he feels, he is trying to feel those whispers flow through him again, and I think for the first time he's attempting to extend his spark further than he has ever before. Keep in mind, I'm willing to make any payment for this, and you can feel free to say no.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
Misty's
100.
divine intervention right now.
Hashtag divine intervention.
Yeah, has it been a day? Can I do divine intervention?
No, it's been a couple hours. Just give me a D100. This isn't divine
There are a
intervention.
couple of
but
hours in 2 days.
Yeah, sure. I'll roll a D100. Okay. Could I use my inspiration to roll twice?
not for this.
Okay, cool. Listen, you miss every shot you don't take. All right,
Exactly.
100. That is a 49.
As you try to do this, you are trying, but the situation is not lending itself to you. As the ground is coming up fast, you're trying your best, but your focus isn't there. You can't feel it because of the impending panic, and your mind just starting to race through all the different, Izzy's a smart person. I imagine Izzy's pretty good with math, and I imagine right now Izzy's probably doing some calculations about how many seconds they have to get off before it's too late.
That's
And
fair.
unfortunately, it's not conducive to what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I think in that moment, you see the ship fall. You see the ship falling with Ava close behind it, and just in a flash, you just see a flash fly past Ava, and the scene cuts to him and Ava floating, both on the broomstick, kind of just watching the ship fall.
Okay. As you pull Ava and just get him off the ship, it falls away below you. And at this point, you two are rather close to the ground. As you're flying up, this airship slams into the ground and just starts throwing up this just wave of dust as you and him are just flying up, trying to outrun it. flying towards just all of your friends, just slowly kind of floating down as the airship slams into the ground. Bits of wood and just debris spraying into the air and just leaving a massive crater in the ground where it struck. You have
Your
no
Honor,
idea
I
where you
plead
are.
whoopsie daisy.
The rest of you slowly start to make your way down, slowly, just floating.
It's actually not
Nelly?
that slow.
It's not that slow, but it's slower than what you were
just-
doing.
You descend at a rate of 60 feet per round. That's fucking. That's insane.
But still safely.
Oh yeah, still safely, but
Nelly
holy
is
shit.
freaking out. She's screaming and crying. At this point, she's kind of just out of Sarah's reach. So Sarah's trying to reach for her, but Nellie's just kind of free falling on her own. Luca, on the other hand, seems to be enjoying the fuck out of this. So, like, not so much what happened, but the thrill of like skydiving seems to be lighting him up a little bit. As
spot ass.
eventually, you all make your way slowly to the ground.
And we all land on our feet and take no falling damage.
As your feet land, they squish down into nice yellow sand.
Oh
heat
fuck, where
here
did we land?
Is oppressive almost. As you're looking around, you see nothing but desert in every direction.
Okay.
You don't know where you are. But based on the terrain, you know that you've landed somewhere in the Thanalin region.
Okay.
You actually land a little ways off from the cratered airship. And you can see just the dust and the sand still just kind of swirling in the air in the distance. Whenever this thing hit you, it clipped you and knocked you way off course, spinning wildly out of control. You don't know how far you traveled on your descent, but it wasn't a straight down because as it hit, you got knocked and spun off to the east somewhere.
Oh damn.
Trapped in the desert.
I hope that thing fucking head-on collides with the Dark Knight and just cleaves him in two.
Izzy drops Ava and immediately flies to the airship.
Okay. When you get there, there's not much left of it. Anything made of wood is basically splintered and exploded. Give me an investigation check.
Yeah, sure. You know, I'm alright at those. Okay. 22.
Searching
Hell yeah.
through, most everything is kaput. You do find intact the control orb that Sid had used and that Ava was using to pilot it. Even after the fall, it seems to be in relatively good condition. You don't even notice any cracks or scratches on it. So you do have, for lack of a better word, the power source of this airship with you. The ship itself, much like our friend Grunthor. Sorry, that was way too soon. I'm so sorry. That was just mean. That was just mean. Okay, even I know that was mean.
Oh, rude.
I'm sorry. It's an emotional episode for me. I mask my pain with jokes, okay?
Bruh, same, but fucking hell.
Yeah, I think Izzy just picks up the control panel and he just flies out of the crater just holding it.
Okay.
Can I scry to see where we are?
What are you trying to scry on? So scrying, you typically have a person or a
Target.
location. Yeah.
Okay. All right, never mind.
And yeah, I wouldn't imagine Blake is very good at geography, so you probably don't know. I mean, just based on yeah. The only people I would say
Can
have
I
an inkling would be Nozak and Izzy, for sure. Ava probably
can
not.
I message Renoa?
Do you have another casting of sending that you can do? Another spell slot?
I have 2 5th levels.
Yep, you can upcast it if you'd like.
Should I upcast it?
Yeah, if you really want to message her, I would recommend it.
I mean, I feel like we should message her. I mean, this is Cat.
Just to check in.
Yeah, just to
Hey,
check in.
girl.
Hey, how's it going?
By the way, we broke your airship. Whoop, bud.
Lamau.
Slight delay.
Yeah.
It'll
That
be
would
fine.
be-
Yeah.
That would be useful. I'm not sure there's much they can do, but them knowing would be very helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Would
Just make sure to mention we are not sure exactly where we are. We're figuring it out.
We're in the desert somewhere.
can Nozak run a nature check to see like where in the desert we are, or like if we're close to anything?
You can give me a survival check, but based on
No, I
what you're
don't like
saying,
that one.
I'm going to tell you it's a high DC without any exploration outside of where you are. But
Okay.
let's see what happens.
So which one am I rolling?
Survival.
Nature? Nature?
It's survival.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Guide him. I'll guide him.
Yeah, go for it.
So roll it
Nope.
plus a d4, right?
Yep.
Never mind.
Guys, we
Okay.
together.
I'll roll the d4.
What is up with
but
these rolls? These
I got a 2. It's a 12.
like I specifically set the DC at like 12 for that first one because I was like, it's just gonna be tense, but not a big deal. And then it just didn't go that way. And so I do apologize for that. But
I have no
the dice
idea
tell
where
a
we are.
story, and now this is where we are. It's hard to tell. At this point,
Yeah.
you just see dunes in any direction. So just desert.
Yeah, Izzy will call out and just say, "No, Zach, I have the controls. Can you do something with the pieces we have?"
I mean, I could try, I suppose.
Do you have your tools on you?
Yeah, well, I can make tools.
Perfect. What do you need help with to make something like this happen?
I mean, I could, maybe if we could
We probably
find,
we probably can't fix the entire ship, but can we make something smaller?
we probably could. I think Nozak's going to explain that if we can get maybe some of the wood or some of the pieces and create like a board, like a magic carpet kind of board thing, he might be able to create like a makeshift kind of platform for us, and then being able to use it, or maybe like try and stick it into something for Ava. That way we can control like part of it.
Okay.
I reckon. Let me have a quick look, because I think this was okay. So this was something I was going to talk to you about last time, because I didn't understand what it meant or like what it was, and I think I understand what it is.
Oh yeah, you did tell me you had questions.
Yeah. So I am going to. I don't think I have these tools on me, so I'm going to kind of just let everybody know what the plan is. Just give me a bit of time to get ready, and I'm going to using my tools that I have, my hammer, my stuff. Actually, is this more? Let me have a quick look, because I need to know if I have this.
So while you're looking that up, Kat, Izzy, is there anything that you want to do?
I'm going to
Oh, yeah.
message Renoa.
Okay.
I'm gonna fly up in the air and try to get a feel for where we are, so that
Give me a
I can see
perception check.
what ways we have we have out. Oh yeah, sure. Do I get anything for being up in the air?
It's gonna adjust the DC on the back end, but
Okay.
just give me a straight check.
Okay, that's 20.
Okay.
Dirty.
Even flying really high, it's very hard to see. There's wherever you're gonna go, there is a huge trek ahead of you. But you kind of orient yourself based on where the sun is and um, just trying to figure out which way's north, south, east, west. You do notice something in the north, far in the distance. Looks like smoke.
Okay.
Far in the
So I've had a look.
distance. And what
I
seems to be maybe a mountain of some kind.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to use one of my little artificer things. I get to create stuff. Yay. Okay, so using my ball peen hammer and the tools that I currently have, I'm just going to say, okay, give me some time. I can do what I can. I need an hour of uninterrupted work, and I
Okay.
can create woodcarver's tools. Like I can just create them, magically create one set of artisan's tools in an unoccupied space within 5 feet.
Okay.
So though they're the product of magic, the tools are non-magical and they vanish when you use the feature again. So I'm going to spend an hour creating woodcarver's tools, because there was a lot of wood, a lot of other stuff from the ship. So that takes an hour.
Okay.
So well, after I've done that, I think in that time while I'm creating the tools, I'm just going to ask if we can just try and salvage as much wood or something as we can from the ship.
Okay. As you do that, Biggs, Wedge, Ava, Sarah, Luca, they all pitch in. Even Nellie is like dragging little planks that she can lift
Oh, I love her.
back to you, kind of bringing you as much of the complete wood that they can. While you're doing that, Blake, what is your message going out to Renoa?
All right. Oh, I need to do the slot. All right. Guardian hit our ship, landed in the desert, have the control orb, but stranded and lost. Nozak tinkering with orb to jury rig something. Advise. And that's it.
Second goes by.
Blink, blink,
You
blink,
sent this
blink.
to Renoa, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Blink,
Ah,
blink. Zzz, zzz, zzz.
I'm so sorry. The desert. That's Empire friendly territory.
Ear, ear.
Keep your heads down. We can try to send someone. Find shelter. I wasn't counting, so I'm going to stop there because I'm assuming that's around 20, 25. As the hour passes,
Mhm.
that.
Can I?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
How long is a short rest?
An hour. So you can take a short
Can I
rest
take?
over this time.
Thank you.
As the hour passes, though,
Yes.
that advice from Manoa starts to sink in as the heat in this area is oppressive. Just what is this with the ones tonight? What was that? Was that a hit dice roll that you were trying to do?
Yeah, I was trying
One
to
hit
roll a
point?
hit die.
You can roll more, but geez. The heat is sweltering here, and you can feel just it's almost hard to breathe, and there doesn't seem to be any shelter. So you're going to have to think of something to do, or things might start to get bad.
I got this.
There's a mountain range in the distance, and I also saw smoke.
Would that trigger anything for anybody?
It would trigger Izzy and Nozak to give me history checks.
Okay. I don't think I
Ooh,
can because this is supposed to be
plus 12,
uninterrupted work.
baby.
Yeah, so Izzy could.
So
It's
I
my
can't.
time to shine, y'all.
If you get a 13, I swear to fuck.
Yes, that's
29.
Hell yeah!
As you're kind of saying it, you're kind of just reporting the facts, and then it kind of hits you that the desert, smoke, mountain range, What you likely saw was Mount Gulag, which you know to be the location of
Ooh.
Fire Crystal. What that would
Okay,
also
okay.
mean
And what?
is based on the distance, you would notice that you're probably a little bit closer to Rabanaster, where you landed,
Okay.
but you do know that they are friendly with the Empire.
Okay.
But
So really
that's the
quick,
information you would get.
what direction is Mount Ghoul from us?
Mount Gulag is so you kind of landed. It's a little northeast where you landed.
Okay, so northeast, east. So that means. Sorry, I'm bad with direction. Okay, so if we
Up and right.
continue, so if we go, yeah, so if we go backwards, we can get to Rabanaster, which is around southwest from us currently.
Yeah.
But that's all dependent on whether this plan, gestures to airship, will work. I have plenty of ways to make sure we have water, so it won't be that much of an issue. Unless someone here can create water.
Gwen just looks at the clerics.
I renounce
Y'all
my
can change.
faith.
I'm about to say y'all can change y'all spells daily. So if you can't do it today, you can definitely do it tomorrow.
Control water?
Create
No,
food and
create
water.
water.
Yeah. Create
I
food and
did
drink or
have that
something.
at one stage, and I got rid of it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So create water currently, as it stands. God damn it, computer is a level 1 spell. So you could get it tomorrow with little to no actual change to your slots. Yeah, but you see, he just like picks up. Well, are there any rocks around?
Give me an investigation check.
Yeah, sure.
Let's
If
find out
not, I already
together.
know where I'm gonna go. That's a nice. That's a 10.
It's hard to find any rocks, actually. Lots of sand. But even digging around, a lot of it in the lake, the place you landed was just sand. There's a
Okay,
lot of
cool.
there's a
So,
lot of debris though from your ship if you're just looking for something like that.
is there any fabric on the ship?
Yeah, there'd be pieces of fabric. I mean, there was
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff you'd be able to piece together.
yeah.
Also, just
You
some of your
literally,
clothes got ripped. So
yeah. You see, just Izzy. You see, he's picking up pieces of fabric, and you see he speaks an incantation, and you see just almost like a flash go across it, and you see he's like tying the now iced over fabric onto people's like neck areas, and then you see he just picks up like a piece of wood, and he casts frostbite on it, and he just kind of holds it out and then pulls it back, and you see water dripping from it, and
okay,
he says, okay, so this should help with. So it
That's
seems
cool.
I can make
that is cool.
water if we need more, but for now, all of the adults, make sure any watering containers or containment you have go to the children.
Okay.
Also done.
With that, being able to make water, also being able to make just little things to put on people's necks to keep them cool. Definitely buying yourself some time. You will probably need to think of a way to get out of the direct sun, especially for like the children whose skin would pretty easily burn. But for now, at least, you've kicked that can down the road.
Izzy gives his large hat to Nellie and puts it on her head.
She kind of like puts it on and pulls it down, and it comes like down to here, and then she just kind of lifts her head up and goes, "Thanks." And she just
No
kind of goes back,
problem.
just kind of playing with it, momentarily
Um,
distracted from her grief.
no, Zach, if you had help, how long do you think it would take you to ramshackle something together?
With help, probably pretty quickly. I've got an idea in my head of what we can do. So this is the
Do you
hour.
need
The
any?
hour's done, so I've got my
Yep.
woodcarver's tools.
Yep.
Okay, so what I'm going to do with the woodcarver's tools is, first of all, I'm going to build like a base first. So I'll
Okay.
build a base first, and then I'm going to build like the 4 posts and just a ramshackle, like a cube thing with the sides mixed out. And then I'm going to have like a little part in the middle with the orb to try
Okay.
and like just keep it together. Because I'm using obviously woodcarver's tools, I have proficiency with them,
Sure.
and I also, at level 6 Artificer, got tool expertise. So
Okay.
now I can double my proficiency bonus for any ability check that uses proficiency
Awesome.
with tools.
So this would be a intelligence check to fit double proficiency with advantage because
Okay.
Izzy's helping you.
So intelligence plus double proficiency, which is +4, plus 8 equals +12. So
Well,
2d20 plus 12 each.
So
'Cause I
wait,
have an
your
intelligence.
proficiency was +4, so that should be +8, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I already
So
have a +4 in my intelligence.
right. So +4, +4, +4, plus
Equals
advantage.
12.
Plus, aren't you guided?
I am guided as well, so plus a d4 as well.
So there you go. Let's roll
Your
it.
boy is getting shit done.
1. Here comes the 1.
You got this. I believe in you.
Okay, so roll the intelligence with advantage. So the intelligence is already there.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one? So 17 plus
21.
4 is 21, plus 8 is 29, plus a d4, because why not while I've got it?
Listen, one thing
32.
about it.
32. This is Nozak's time to shine. Okay,
Oh,
as
yeah.
the heat is
Finally.
kind of the heat itself is starting to get to people, even with all the things that Izzy's done. Now, what you're building is still going to take some time. So the hour's
yeah.
up, but still, it's going to take you. How big are you trying to make this big enough for everyone to fit on, or how big are you trying to make it?
It
Because
needs to
that's
be
going
able
to
to hold
determine how
everybody's
long it's going
weight.
to take.
I'm going to make it a... How big is a meter? How many people can fit? Oh, we're in like squares. Each person has their own like.
Well,
occupies a
I
5-foot
don't. I don't
square.
need numbers. I'm basically just asking: are you trying to make it big enough to carry everybody and Duchess?
Yes.
Okay. With that, this will take the rest of the day, at least.
Okay.
Okay. I mean,
But I
with
want
a
to build. I want to build the sticks and the roof first
okay.
to give cover, and then I'm
Okay.
going to build the base and get us all to move it onto the base.
Okay.
What did you
Perfect.
figure out, Izzy?
DM, I just realized something. I have supplies. I have supplies to help with biology stuff. Could I make a potion of some sort to help with heat exhaustion or to prevent it?
I would have let you do that, except you're helping Nozak build the boat.
Okay, that's fair.
So would we be able to speed that up if I'm like letting everybody get in on it, telling people what to do, where to put things, where, stuff like that?
It'll help. Izzy's your best help here, because you're dealing with a lot of
bestie
kids
squad.
or people that this takes a lot of measurements, intelligence, finesse, and you've also lost your heaviest lifter too. So that they will help, but Nellie ends up
The-
getting in the way more than anything.
The rest of us are kind of lacking in the intelligence department.
Does
Is what Wolf was saying, basically.
what I was getting at was, yes, everyone pitching in, taking turns seeking shelter from the heat. It will help a little bit, but still the size of what you're trying to attempt. I mean, you're basically taking wreckage and trying to build a makeshift flying carpet, for lack of a better word, right?
Yep.
So it is probably going to take you into the rest of this day, into the night. Now,
That's
with
fair.
a 32, you're not going to have any problem putting this together, and you are going to be successful, and you will get it done before you have to take exhaustion, but it is going to soak up the rest of this day.
Okay.
That's
and
fair.
Then once I go, sorry.
Would that be a long rest?
If you want to take a nap while they're doing this, you can go ahead.
Once I've built the 4 pillars and the roof,
They might
so
not.
we've got like a shade thing, feel free to jump under that, because I have another idea to see whether this will work. What I want to do is, once it's built, and we're all kind of like, okay, cool, now we just need to put it onto the top part, I need to find out where the hell it put this thing, because okay, here.
I want to say, like, after the third time that they tried to, like, lift a beam and Blake is just in the middle, like,
dangling down.
because they yeah, or they lifted it over their head. They were like, Blake, why don't you just, like,
It's funny because as you let
just
go
go
from that
flop?
and fall to the ground, Nellie runs over and says, my turn, thinking it's some kind of game that you're playing.
Or no, I wasn't even thinking they lifted it up. Like, it's just like one of those, like, 1, 2, 3, and everybody lifts, and then Blake is just still standing on the ground, and
Just
the
with their
beam is.
hand. Oh, gotcha.
I'm
Okay,
just here for moral support, y'all.
For some reason, I can't find where I literally had where all of my infusions were.
Okay.
But what I want to do is once I've built everything and I've got the little part with the power orb that has everything in it. Once it's all done and dusted, I want to touch the power orb
Okay.
and I want to see if I can cast Homunculus Servant and use the power orb as a heart for the Homunculus Servant, so then Ava doesn't have to worry about controlling it, because then it would be its own entity, if that makes
Okay.
sense. To see whether
Let
I'd be able to use that as a way to carry us around.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Okay,
That's a great idea.
thank you.
Send me that offline. Let me read over it.
Yep.
The only hiccup with that plan is the fact that it wasn't Ava was the battery supplying the magic into this. So while
Okay.
the homunculus might, be able to help control it, you may still require Ava to provide that energy. But
Okay.
that being the case, that probably would have helped before, having an additional thing. So let's talk about that
That's a
offline
thing.
because that's going to take a little bit of thinking. But
Mhm.
as the day drags on,
We have a lot to talk about, my man.
yeah, no, as the day drags on and the uh, horribly scorching heat of the day starts to fade into the cold of the night, most of your friends have already drifted off to sleep. Children,
Mhm.
even Sarah, they're all kind of cuddled up to, keep the chill away as the sun dissipates, and you have this huge shift in weather going into the nighttime of the desert. And at this point, it's just you and Izzy. Ava tried to stay up to help you, but his exhaustion took over, and he also had to just he kind of fell asleep
A little nap.
standing and then slowly just kind of went down. But as
So,
the
okay.
night drags on,
Excuse
you
me.
put your
Sorry.
finishing touches on and you stand back and you think you've got something here.
Okay. All right. And even if we decide that like using the homunculus just helps Ava, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading it where the homunculus needs an item to be used as a heart
Okay.
first before anything. So then I had the idea in my mind of like if we cause this power orb to have like sentience, or at least have a like it can be its own entity. So
Mhm.
like it would be able to move and power itself, because technically it'd be coming from the power of like the building the artificer
Sure.
thing. But if we do decide that it just is going to help Ava, that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah, let me read through it. We'll talk. That's a good idea. That is a great idea, actually. We need to figure out how that's going to interplay with the fact that Ava is the battery. So
Yeah,
I have an idea. We'll talk. Okay, I have an
cool.
idea. I think we can make this work. With that though, you look around. You look at a job well done. A 32 is a very nice job well done. There's part of you that really wants to do like a test run, but at this point, Ava
Yeah,
is out.
so bad.
Your friends are all asleep, and the weight of today, everything of this day, when you woke up, you were the survivors. 5 of you whose name was built around the fact that you survive.
Yeah,
And now that
Grunthor.
name doesn't work. No longer are you 5, no longer have you all survived. The weight of that starts to settle in, mixing with the anger that you felt, mixing with the exhaustion that's starting to creep into your brain as well. You found out that you lost a friend. You found out that another one of your friends made a decision that has consequences that will affect not only you, but the world at large, the political stage that we're all just little chess pieces on. And now you find yourself knocked off course in a land that you did not expect to be in for quite some time.
Mm.
And with that, your exhaustion finally kind of takes you, and you feel the need to get a nice long rest too. And we're going to end the episode right there. I will finally give everyone a long rest.
Nah.
And if you don't want to stay up, that's your prerogative. Everyone can take a long rest, and we will pick up there with our next episode. Let's just all take a moment to remember our dear friend Grunthor, who sacrificed himself in the attempt to save Alexandria. The results of that we will have to find out when we can, because we are far away with no way of knowing what's going on over there at the moment. But one thing we know is that Grunthor died a hero, just like he lived.
Rest in
And-
pepperoni.
May he rest in pieces.
Queen.
We indeed. With that, everybody, Lally Ho, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.